Welcome to the Ganglion Show, starring your host, Ganglion.
Hi, my name is Ganglion. Thank you and welcome to the Ganglion Show. Tonight we have two very special guests, but before that, let's go ahead and go to Jack with the weather. Thank you, Jack. So tonight with us we have two very special guests here to talk about something that is both very near and dear to my heart, and I'm sure all of yours. Please welcome to the stage Dr. Manslaughter. Let's go to Jack with the news. Thank you, Jack. So, Dr. Slaughter, what have you got to here to talk about us today? It says something about the nervous system. Were you particularly nervous coming here tonight?
No.
Okay. So this sheet that my publicist put together, who should be fired after finding me this guest, says that you have invented this nervous system?
Oh, not by myself, of course. I work for a company, but yes, the nervous system.
Okay, and has anyone aided you into this nervous system?
Oh, the CEO is the founder of this corporation.
And what is her name?
Her name is cerebellum e occipital.
Okay. Is she here tonight?
Yes.
Okay, let's welcome her to the stage, Miss Cerebellum e occipital.
Thank you, Mr. Ganglion, for having me here tonight.
Nice to meet you. It's a pleasure. So, what made you inspired to create this thing called the nervous system? Can you explain a little bit more about it?
Well, obviously, many people are lacking in a certain area that we call the brain. So, and obviously, I mean, you wouldn't be able to take a walk through the park or brush your teeth without the importance of this very important nervous system. And it controls all movement, involuntary and voluntary. In fact, you wouldn't be able to breathe or have a heartbeat even.
Would you consider blinking an involuntary or voluntary?
It can actually be either, because normally you would blink involuntarily, but you can blink voluntarily.
Let's see. Can you explain a little bit about the functions of this nervous system?
This organ system is responsible for the control of the body and communication among its parts. The brain sends chemical and electrical signals through the spinal cord to control involuntary and voluntary actions throughout the body.
So I assume, Dr. Slaughter, that you were the brain behind this. Can you explain a little bit about the inner workings of it?
Yes. Well, I'll go ahead and explain what Ms. Cerebellum said about the chemical and electrical signals that the brain sends throughout the body. Well, you see, the brain makes the electrical signal in the nucleus of its neurons, and it sends it through its axon. And while it moves through the axon, for example, let's say the cerebellum is a neuron. This will be her nucleus. This will be her axon. The nucleus is going to send the electrical signal from the nucleus through its axon. As it reaches the end of the axon, it will turn into a chemical signal. As it leaves the axon, it will enter my dendrite. This little space between here is called a synapsis, where the chemical signal reaches the dendrite. And then the dendrite, as it receives it, turns it into an electrical signal through the nucleus and then out my dendrite, out my axon.
And then so on and so forth?
Yes. Until it performs the duty that the body wants to perform.
That's very interesting. So you explained something called the brain. Can you explain a little about the parts and things that help make this thing called the brain do
Well,
what it
there's
needs to
two
do?
major parts. Actually 3 major parts, excuse me. Cerebrum, cerebellum, and the brain stem.
Yes.
Okay, can you explain a little bit about more of the cerebrum?
Well, the cerebrum, it controls the sensory info, like your senses, and your smell, touch, taste, hearing, and all of that. It also controls your involuntary processes, like your digestive system, heartbeat, and like we said earlier, blinking sometimes.
I assume this next part we're going to speak about the cerebellum is named after the wonderful CEO here. What was that, like your favorite part, or like why did you name it that? And what is its function?
It controls movement throughout the body, so pretty much the most important thing that people actually can see you do. So all of your daily actions,
And I believe, lastly, we have something called the spinal cord or the brain stem.
Well, the brainstem really connects the brain to the spinal cord, where it allows the brain to send the messages to the spinal cord, so it'll send it to the parts of the body that whatever it needs to be.
Close to the base of the spinal cord, there is a sac called the ganglion.
Sorry, is there an example of what can happen if you don't have this thing called the nervous system?
Yes. You can't move, you can't breathe, you can't have a heartbeat, and essentially you're paralyzed. And you can't even live anymore.
Can you explain, how long has this been in development?
Oh, this has been in development for millions and millions of years. I think since the beginning of man, really.
Oh, yes.
And so you've just now decided to charge people for this, and how much are we speaking of?
Oh, that's a very crude way to put it.
Let's see. I think the procedure would at least be 500,000.
Somewhere around there.
And you're recommending, you're a doctor and everything. Do you recommend that everybody get this procedure?
Yes, I recommend everyone get this procedure.
This procedure is quite a pretty penny to perform. What are are there any side effects or anything to this? Or anything you can develop after a long time having this?
Oh, if you don't replace your brain spinal cord, after a while it tends to develop certain diseases if it's within your genetics.
And can you explain some of these diseases, like epilepsy, I believe I've heard?
Epilepsy affects approximately 1% of the population, making it the most common disease. It results in seizures, usually resulting from abnormal cell figure in the brain. So basically, you have seizure.
Is there anything that can cause, like, trigger these things?
Really flashing lights or loud noises.
Noises, so you need to avoid those. And is there anything else? Is there any deathly diseases that this could cause? Is there any real danger in actually getting this?
Yes, the first neurological disease that I explained in the beginning, Alzheimer's disease. It can result in, it is the fourth leading cause of death in adults. Symptoms, the inability to remember things and recognize people. So you cannot remember things you needed to do or for yourself.
Thank you so much for your time. I believe this is all the time we have on the show today. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next show next Thursday.